to walk this path of faith, to walk this path of renewal and new beginnings, abundance, prosperity. Any dream casted world that you can think of is a matter of letting go of control. But we cling on to control when faith feels out of reach. And this simply happens because the idea of a logical outcome feels more realistic. It feels more grounded. But in hindsight, it's a state of conditioning. A conditioning that came from experiences that were once a place of safety. It could be applied to any circumstance in life. For me, I got out of a pretty toxic household, and the ideas that I had for myself and my virtue were clear as day, but there was a projection of limitations that did not belong to me. And although I was resilient, there's an echo that plays in my head, a truth that is not mine, a belief that never belonged to me. But because it gave me so much clarity at the time, in a state of chaos, all I had was my intuition and my ego, which is what we always have in a world of polarities. But what I'm trying to get at is my intuition was to cling on to this virtue path, but my ego was clinging on to limitations at the same time. And that's what I'm trying to get at is that when you start overcoming these limitations, the ego kind of starts spiting you. It starts getting loud. It disrupts our heart space. Persevering through faith and integration is the healthiest form of transcendence, because detachment is powerful. Detachment is not cold. It's the most heartwarming thing you can experience when you're truly working towards your best self. And as a person who struggles with existential thoughts and stuff at one point, it was so easy to pretend like I was detached, when in hindsight, it was just my own ego playing God. When you really put this into perspective, you find yourself gravitating towards a stronger willpower, a contemplation state to inhibit what it means to be yourself. This really breaks down the narrative of being a victim or being isolated and incapable of new beginnings. But faith always perseveres so much so forth that a state of detachment becomes natural. Faith is adaptable. It can be applied to anything and everything. To have hope in new beginnings, to have hope in this new journey we are embarking, it is a matter of just keeping faith and keeping God close. Once you overcome one illusion, another one wants to surface. Once you truly feel the love of God in a state of faith and realize wow, that wasn't so bad, and you're gonna be more drawn to the ascension of breaking down these illusions. Like breaking away the chains that are wrapped up in your heart space, or the weight that is on your chest, is simply the limitation that we cling as our reality. I'm working day and night to live this virtuous path. If I really wasn't, I'd be sitting in my room, not filming at all. But I'm out here. I'm working towards this path of virtuous enlightenment because I've seen the results, I've seen the possibilities, I've experienced it. And when I really had to face these ideas head on, I realized that I had a choice, and the choice is breaking out of the self-pity, breaking out of the victimization, realizing that you are at hand with willpower. And when you truly own it, when you truly own your own willpower and say, I don't want to live like this anymore, that is the consciousness expanding through God. And that faith will keep growing the more you trust the process. You see opportunities come left and right. You'll see your heart just opening up to everything that you always thought was like far away, but really it was all in arm's reach. It was just a matter of breaking out of the limitation. It was a matter of breaking out of the ideas that were set upon us by our experiences, and even facing these experiences and the ego, you have to amend it. And you amend it not out of spite, not out of resentful. That's all out of the ego. Truly, when you are getting closer with God, you're like, oh, you are laying down the foundation and the rules and accommodating what goes and what can no longer pass you by. So like, you are truly setting boundaries and a strong foundation for yourself and grounding by putting your foot down and being like, no, I'm not gonna think of myself in this light. I'm gonna actually reveal the shadow to myself and understand that there are things about me that I have to improve. There are things about myself that I need to love more. Things about myself that I need to believe that is capable of this growth. See, this expansion of the self is through God. There was a lot of outlets and people trying to pull me into religious beliefs, and I'm an ominist. You can believe whatever you want. I love all ascension masters. I'm open to learning about all religions and such. But there is just this idea that you have to think a certain way or accommodate yourself to a certain degree to meet the standards of a physical belief system. But faith is fluid. I'm alternative as fuck, bro. I'm not religious. I don't even really consider myself spiritual too much, just because like the identity around it of like like the new age stuff where it's just like spiritual bypassing. The divine creator is so much stronger than doctrine. I hope I said that word correctly, but that's really what it is. You could be a religious person and be alternative. You could be a spiritual person, an ominist. You can be anything you want. The divine creator is still there. Faith still exists within all humans. That's what makes us human, is that we have a consciousness and a mammal-like instinct, that we are literally a hybrid of the land and the sky, you know? And I think that's just like something really powerful to keep in mind. So get close to God, because you know there's a calling from God that you are able to integrate your best self when you keep your faith. And whatever that may look like, whatever religion, whatever idea, belief system, whatever works for you, that's all that matters, because this is about your journey of what you are capable of, that deserve to live in a state of forgiveness, to live in a state of harmony and peace. Yeah, God bless. I've been trying to make this video for so long, and I'm so glad it's out. And just hearing myself, I can just like really appreciate all the integrations and all the connections between the self-discovery, getting close to God, and keeping faith. It's all there. So yeah, you deserve it. You deserve peace. You deserve love. You deserve abundance. And it's just, you got to recognize that through God. Thank you guys for watching. It's fucking freezing. I'm about to go work out now. Peace. Like and subscribe, please, guys. I'm back at it. I'm telling you.